can you be so ignorant, Anish? Dr. Raghudandan admonished you for my ignorance. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters or future Toastmasters. Dr. Raghudandan had a good reason to scold me because he was referring to my cholesterol. Can anyone say what cholesterol is? According to World Health Organization, cholesterol is a waxy substance that comes from two sources, our body and food. It plays a vital role for the functioning of each cell. Our body, especially our liver, produces all the cholesterol and circulates through blood. Toastmaster Gurmeet is wondering now, if cholesterol plays a vital role, why the doctor was upset? Am I right, Gurmeet? Cholesterol is also found in food from animal sources like meat, poultry, full-fat dairy products. Our liver produces more cholesterol when we eat a diet out of this. Excessive cholesterol can form a plaque in the blood vessels that circulates blood from our heart. That increases the pressure on our heart. Plaque can break open and develop clots. If a clot blocks a vein that feeds our brain, it causes a stroke. If a clot blocks a vein that feeds our heart, it blocks a heart attack. Toastmaster Ravi, please don't assume that all cholesterol are bad. As in movies, there are heroes and villains, good and bad cholesterol. Bad cholesterol is technically termed as low density lipoprotein, simply LDL. It is very big, fluffy and sticky. If circumstances are favorable, it will stick to your blood vessel internal surface and will narrow the path. So, such changes will lead to a tendency to develop blood to clot. On the other hand, good cholesterol, technically termed as HDL, high density lipoprotein, it scavenges for fat and returns to the liver. Good cholesterol cleans the blood vessel for bad cholesterol. A high HDL-LDL ratio means our heart is protected against diseases. HDL can be increased by physical activities only. Institute of Lungs, Heart and Blood describes that a person above 20 and older should conduct a blood test once in 5 years to determine the cholesterol content in our blood. Blood test is the only option to determine these parameters. A simple blood test called lipoprotein PET, simply lipid profile, is performed. Normally, one need to have 9 to 12 hours fasting before performing this test. And the test will give you result about total cholesterol, that is a total fat present in your blood, LDL, that is bad cholesterol, HDL, good cholesterol, and triglyceride, which is very dangerous. A high elevated triglyceride and LDL combination will make your life worse. The report will also show you the desired limits of these contents, and we should maintain our cholesterol in that limits. What caused me have those high results that were not considered as appropriate? American Society of Hematology describes many reasons for cholesterol variations. The first and foremost among their description is the food and our sedentary lifestyle. A 9 to 5 desktop job in front of a computer in an air-conditioned environment is a super fire recipe for a disaster. The most contributing factor for elevated levels in cholesterol among Indians is our processed hydrocarbons like white rice, bread products, along with our traditional oil-rich food. Example, puri and naan are classic examples for this. It is not necessary that a fat person should have high cholesterol. A lean person like our Amit or like our President Angit can also have high cholesterol. The proven fact is that it typically does not cause any symptoms. It creates only casualties or events. Events like stroke or heart attack. Toastmasters, we are all living in a fast-moving society. It is not possible for us to consume hygiene, healthy food all the time. I am not telling or not demanding you to change your lifestyle. I am only requesting you to find and spend 30 to 45 minutes every day to indulge in some physical activity like walking, swimming, badminton, etc. Physical activity would support the hero in your blood to eliminate the villain. I can vouch for this because walking helped me a lot to control my enemy in that desired limit, for which once Dr. Raghunandan scolded. I have a will, and my willpower motivates me every morning for a 45 minutes walk. I have the will. Do you?